Picture this. You walk into a room and suddenly all eyes are on you. People lean in when you speak, hanging on your every word. Your ideas spark excitement, and your presence inspires confidence. Now, imagine having this magnetic effect not just once in a while, but every single day, in every interaction. Sounds like a superpower, doesn't it? Well, what if I told you that this isn't just a fantasy, but a skill you can learn and master? Welcome to CEO's Library, the 1% bookshelf, where we distill game-changing insights from the world's most impactful books. I'm your host, and today we're diving into The Charisma Myth by Olivia Fox Cabane, a book that shatters our preconceptions about charisma and offers a science-based approach to developing this coveted quality. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. When we think of charismatic people, we often picture larger-than-life personalities like Oprah Winfrey, Steve Jobs, or the Dalai Lama. It's easy to assume these individuals were simply born with a special gift, that charisma is an innate, magical quality bestowed upon a lucky few. But what if I told you that charisma is actually a learnable skill, like playing an instrument or mastering a sport? This is the groundbreaking premise of The Charisma Myth. Olivia Fox Cabane, drawing on cutting-edge research in behavioral science and her experience coaching top executives, argues that charisma is not a birthright, but a set of behaviors that anyone can learn and perfect. At its core, charisma boils down to three key elements: presence, power, and warmth. By understanding and cultivating these qualities, we can all become more influential, persuasive, and inspiring. But before we dive into the how-to, let's debunk some common myths about charisma. First, the idea that you need to be an extrovert to be charismatic. Not true. In fact, some of the most charismatic people are introverts. Take Elon Musk, for example. Known for his visionary ideas and magnetic personality, Musk is actually quite introverted. Yet, he's able to captivate audiences and inspire millions. Another myth is that you need to be physically attractive to be charismatic. Again, not necessarily. History is full of charismatic figures who weren't conventionally attractive. Winston Churchill, for instance, was not known for his looks, but his powerful presence and oratory skills made him one of the most influential leaders of the 20th century. Lastly, many people believe that to be charismatic, you need to fundamentally change who you are. This couldn't be further from the truth. Charisma isn't about becoming someone else. It's about bringing out the best version of yourself. So, how do we know charisma can be learned? Well, science backs it up. In controlled laboratory experiments, researchers were able to increase and decrease people's levels of charisma as if they were turning a dial. By instructing subjects to adopt specific behaviors, they could make them appear more or less charismatic to observers. This suggests that charisma is not a fixed trait, but a skill that can be developed with practice. Let's look at some real-world examples. Did you know that Steve Jobs, often cited as one of the most charismatic CEOs in history, wasn't always a captivating speaker? If you watch his earliest presentations, you'll see a nervous, awkward young man. But over the years, he honed his skills, developing the magnetic stage presence we associate with him today. Or consider Mahatma Gandhi. While we remember him as a charismatic leader who inspired millions, he started his career as a shy, tongue-tied lawyer. It was through years of practice and self-improvement that he developed the charismatic presence that would change the course of history. These examples show us that charisma is not a gift bestowed at birth, but a skill cultivated over time. And that's great news because it means that with the right tools and techniques, we can all become more charismatic. Now that we've dispelled the myths, let's dive into the three pillars of charisma: presence, power, and warmth. These are the foundation upon which all charismatic behavior is built. Let's start with presence. Have you ever been in a conversation where the other person was physically there, but mentally somewhere else? Maybe they were nodding along, but their eyes were glazed over. Or they were subtly checking their phone. How did that make you feel? Probably not very important or valued. Presence is about being fully in the moment, giving your complete and undivided attention to the person or task at hand. It's what makes people feel truly seen and heard when they're with you. And here's the kicker. People can tell when you're not present, even if you think you're hiding it well. So, how do we cultivate presence? One powerful technique Cabane suggests is mindfulness. This doesn't mean you need to start meditating for hours, although that certainly wouldn't hurt. It can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths and focusing on your sensations in the present moment. Try this. Right now, take a moment to feel your feet on the ground. Notice the weight of your body in your chair, and pay attention to the sounds around you. That's presence. Another technique is to practice active listening. Next time you're in a conversation, challenge yourself to really focus on what the other person is saying, rather than thinking about what you're going to say next. You'll be amazed at how this simple shift can transform your interactions. Moving on to power, the second pillar of charisma. When we talk about power in this context, we're not referring to hierarchical authority or brute force. Instead, we're talking about the perception that you have the ability to affect the world around you. It's about projecting confidence and capability. One way to enhance your power is through your body language. Cabane introduces us to the concept of power posing, popularized by social psychologist Amy Cuddy. The idea is that by adopting expansive, confident postures, we can actually change our body chemistry to feel more powerful. Try this. Stand up and take a Wonder Woman pose. Feet apart, hands on hips, chin up. Hold this for 2 minutes. Studies have shown that this simple act can increase testosterone, the dominance hormone, and decrease cortisol, the stress hormone, making you feel more confident and less anxious. Another aspect of power is your voice. Charismatic individuals often speak more slowly and use pauses effectively. This conveys confidence and gives weight to their words. Next time you're in a meeting or giving a presentation, try slowing down your speech and pausing briefly after making an important point. You'll likely find that people pay more attention and perceive you as more authoritative. The final pillar of charisma is warmth. This is what makes people feel that you have their best interests at heart. It's the quality that makes others want to trust and cooperate with you. Warmth is often conveyed through nonverbal cues like smiling, open body language, and appropriate touch, like a handshake or pat on the back. One powerful technique for projecting warmth is to practice goodwill. Before entering a meeting or social situation, take a moment to wish the best for everyone you're about to encounter. This mental shift can subtly alter your behavior in ways that make you appear more warm and approachable. Another technique is to use people's names and show genuine interest in their lives. Dale Carnegie famously said, "Remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language." By remembering and using people's names and showing interest in their lives beyond work, you can quickly build rapport and be perceived as warm and caring. Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I actually put it into practice? This is where mastering your internal state comes in. You see, charisma isn't just about external behaviors. It starts from within. Our internal state, our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, has a profound impact on our external behavior. Even if we try to fake confidence or warmth, if we're feeling insecure or resentful on the inside, it will likely show through in subtle ways. This is why managing our internal state is crucial for authentic charisma. One powerful tool for managing our internal state is visualization. Top athletes have long used this technique to improve their performance, and it works just as well for charisma. Before an important meeting or presentation, take a few minutes to vividly imagine yourself succeeding. See yourself speaking confidently. See others responding positively to you. Feel the emotions of success and satisfaction. This mental rehearsal can actually change your body chemistry and behavior in the real situation. Another key aspect of managing your internal state is overcoming self-doubt and anxiety. We all have an inner critic, that voice that tells us we're not good enough or that we're going to fail. Cabane offers several techniques for dealing with this inner critic. One is the reality check. When you notice negative self-talk, ask yourself, is this thought really true? What evidence do I have for and against it? Often you'll find that your worst fears are unfounded. Another powerful technique is self-compassion. Instead of beating yourself up for mistakes or perceived inadequacies, try treating yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a good friend. Research has shown that self-compassion is actually more effective than self-criticism for motivating self-improvement. Now that we've covered the internal work, let's talk about putting charisma into action. One of the most valuable insights from the charisma myth is that there isn't just one type of charisma. Cabane identifies 4 main charisma styles: focus, visionary, kindness, and authority. Each style is suited to different situations and can be strategically employed to achieve different goals. Focus charisma is all about making the other person feel truly heard and understood. It's great for one-on-one interactions and building deep connections. To employ focus charisma, give your full attention to the other person, listen actively, and show genuine interest in what they're saying. Visionary charisma is about inspiring others with a compelling vision of the future. This style is often used by leaders and entrepreneurs. To tap into visionary charisma, you need to be able to articulate your ideas with passion and conviction, painting a vivid picture of what could be. Kindness charisma is based on warmth and acceptance. It makes people feel safe and cared for. This style can be particularly effective in situations where trust needs to be built quickly. To use kindness charisma, focus on expressing empathy and goodwill towards others. Finally, authority charisma is based on the perception of power and status. It's useful in situations where you need to take charge or make quick decisions. To project authority charisma, use confident body language, speak assertively, and demonstrate competence in your area of expertise. The key is to know which style to use in which situation. A visionary style might be great for a motivational speech, but could come across as overbearing in a one-on-one mentoring session, where focus charisma would be more appropriate. Let's talk about the nuts and bolts of charismatic behavior, starting with body language. Did you know that your body language is responsible for over 50% of the impression you make? It's true. Your posture, gestures, facial expressions, and eye contact all send powerful messages about your level of confidence, warmth, and engagement. One key aspect of charismatic body language is what Cabane calls claiming your space. This means adopting open, expansive postures that take up physical space. Think of how a confident leader might stand with their feet apart and arms open, versus how someone feeling insecure might hunch their shoulders and cross their arms. Eye contact is another crucial element. Charismatic individuals tend to make steady, warm eye contact. But be careful. Too much eye contact can come across as aggressive or creepy. The sweet spot is to maintain eye contact for about 60% of the time during a conversation. Facial expressions are also key. A genuine smile, one that crinkles the eyes, can do wonders for projecting warmth and approachability. But it's not just about smiling. Charismatic people often have very expressive faces, showing interest and empathy through their expressions. Moving on to verbal techniques, one powerful tool is the use of vivid, sensory-rich language. Instead of speaking in abstractions, try to use concrete examples and metaphors that paint a picture in the listener's mind. For instance, instead of saying, "We need to improve our customer service," you might say, "We need to make our customers feel like royalty from the moment they walk through our doors." Another verbal technique is the strategic use of pauses. Many of us, when nervous, tend to speak quickly without pauses. But well-timed pauses can add emphasis to your words and make you appear more thoughtful and confident. Try pausing briefly before making an important point. It will make your audience lean in and pay attention. Storytelling is another powerful tool in the charismatic person's arsenal. Human beings are wired to respond to stories. By weaving your ideas into a narrative structure, you can make them more engaging and memorable. Whether you're giving a presentation or having a one-on-one conversation, look for opportunities to illustrate your points with brief, relevant stories. Now, let's address some common challenging situations and how to handle them charismatically. First, public speaking. Many people find this terrifying, but with the right techniques, you can come across as confident and engaging. Start by thoroughly preparing your content. Knowing your material inside and out will boost your confidence. Then, before you go on stage, use visualization to see yourself succeeding. During the presentation, remember to speak slowly, use pauses effectively, and make eye contact with individuals in the audience. Another challenging situation is dealing with difficult people. Here, a combination of focus and kindness charisma can work wonders. Start by really listening to the person and trying to understand their perspective. Show empathy for their feelings, even if you disagree with their position. Then, look for common ground and areas of agreement. By making the other person feel heard and respected, you can often diffuse tension and find a way forward. Networking events can also be challenging for many people. The key here is to focus on quality over quantity. Instead of trying to work the entire room, aim to have a few meaningful conversations. Use focus charisma to make each person you talk to feel important and interesting. Ask open-ended questions and really listen to the answers. And remember, it's not just about what you can get from others. Look for ways you can help or add value to the people you meet. As we wrap up, let's recap the key takeaways from the charisma myth. First, charisma is not an innate quality, but a skill that can be learned and improved. Second, charisma is based on the three pillars of presence, power, and warmth. Third, our internal state is crucial. We need to manage our thoughts and emotions to project authentic charisma. Fourth, there are different styles of charisma that can be used in different situations. And finally, charisma is expressed through both nonverbal and verbal behaviors that we can practice and refine. The beauty of charisma is that as you develop it, it becomes a virtuous cycle. As you become more charismatic, you'll likely find that people respond more positively to you, which in turn boosts your confidence and makes it easier to be charismatic. It's a self-reinforcing process. But remember, developing charisma is not about becoming someone you're not. It's about bringing out the best version of yourself and learning to connect with others more effectively. It's about becoming more present, more confident, and more compassionate. So, here's your call to action. Start practicing these techniques in your daily life. Begin with small steps. Tomorrow, challenge yourself to be fully present in each conversation you have. The day after, practice power posing before an important meeting. Experiment with different charisma styles and see what works best for you in different situations. Remember, like any skill, charisma improves with practice. You might feel awkward at first, and that's okay. Stick with it, and over time, these behaviors will become more natural and authentic to you. Charisma has the power to transform not just how others perceive you, but how you perceive yourself. By developing your charisma, you're not just learning a set of techniques. You're embarking on a journey of personal growth and self-discovery. So, go forth and let your charisma shine. The world is waiting to be captivated by you. Thank you for listening to CEO's Library, the 1% Bookshelf. Until next time, keep reading, keep growing, and keep inspiring.